Hey, Mom, we were all wondering, what was your first memory of Aunt Rosie?
I can't even remember.
But she was married before you were born.
Married before I was born. She went to Mineola, Long Island, and got married.
Well, she eloped, right?
What?
She eloped with
She
Uncle
eloped
Lino.
with Lino.
And how come she eloped with Uncle Lino? What was the story?
Because Grandpa wanted her to marry an Italian, and she loved Lino,
And Lino was Portuguese, right?
Yep.
Oh, boy.
And he talked her into marrying him.
Yeah, but they still got married in the Catholic Church, right?
Yeah, they did.
And Anna Pinto was her maid of honor, right?
I don't know.
I think so.
Yes, she was.
That was always the famous name, and Anna Pinto was her maid of honor. You know, Aunt Rosie gave me her. Well, actually, Aunt Rosie didn't give it to me. Aunt Josie gave me Aunt Rosie's vase. That was a wedding gift from Anna Pinto to her. You know that vase that has the Egyptian decorations on it? I have it in my apartment. I keep all my knitting needles in it.
No.
Oh, well, it was in the basement when they lived in East Orange, and Aunt Josie gave it to me to put my art brushes in it, and Aunt Rosie yelled at her, and then Aunt Josie yelled back and said, "What are you going to do with it? You don't use it." But what else do you remember about Aunt Rosie when you were growing up? Was she like a mother to you?
I don't even remember, Teresa.
Well, what do you remember?
What do you remember?
We lived on Drift Street for a little while, then we moved
Uh-huh.
to 8th Street. So I didn't see them every day. But all I know is they did work in Clark's. They worked making cotton.
What was Clark's?
Clark's?
Yeah, what was Clark's?
They made these spools of thread that,
So it was a factory?
yes, it was a factory.
It was a sweatshop factory, wasn't it? Yeah, we kind of think so. But they were making thread? That's what they made? Aunt Rosie and Aunt Josie?
Yeah, the threads that you sell.
Wow.
And
But Mom, when did they move to East Orange? Do you remember that?
oh, that was later on.
Much later, right?
Much later on when Aunt Rosie was looking for an apartment.
But Uncle Lino was still alive when they moved to East
Oh, yeah.
Orange, because I do remember him when I was very
He was
little.
there.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, Mom, Karen and I were talking. Karen and I were talking the other day about how spicy Aunt Rosie and Aunt Josie were, and we wanted to know, where did they get their personality from? Your mother or your father?
No, I think it was from my father.
And so tell me about Grandpa Janicelli. Was he a bossy guy?
No, not that I know of.
But how did he treat you when you were a young kid living in the house?
He treated me very well.
So was he...
He talked about me when I worked at Igo Brothers, and all the girls were going out on St. Patty's Day. These were girls, too, that their husbands were in service.
Husbands or boyfriends?
Boyfriends.
Boyfriends were in the service. They were in the military.
And they asked me to go to to one of the
Dances?
bars down in New York. And I said no. And he was so proud of me because I didn't go.
Because because your fiance was over in Korea, right?
Right.
Well, there you go. So, so how did you know you were going to say, how did you know that your father really loved you?
Because when I was going to get married, he cried. He cried so much that he made me cry. And he told me that he'd miss me. But I said to him, Pop, I'll be here every day. Don't worry about it. And that's why Daddy took me there all the time.
Well, you lived with them first before you found the apartment on Franklin Street, right?
We did live with them. We lived with them for a year.
For them, there you go. So he didn't miss you that much, right, Mom?
Well, I think he did, because then when I left, really, to get my own apartment, he cried.
Oh, he cried again?
He cried again. Said, I'm gonna miss you so much.
Did he cry as much as Uncle Danny for Patrina?
Oh, remember when Uncle Danny
was
cried?
crying over Patrina.
That whole week, Uncle Danny cried a week, maybe more.
And you were saying, Danny, let it out. Just keep crying.
And Aunt Regina,
But
remember
don't encourage
your
him.
sister said, don't encourage him.
Well, they have to miss something. And
Their
your
daughters.
daughter lived with you for all those years. And then you're gonna lose her to some guy you don't even know.
Well, I say bring back families living with families, right, Mom?
I think too.
Yeah, it's a good thing.